I'm gonna do episodes 5 and 6 in the same video because Hurricane Ian has stalled me with his shenanigans, man. But doesn't matter. Grind goes on, show goes on, quite literally. So here it is. Since we last talked about the show, we got to talk about how the Southlands is Mordor. We got to talk about Numenor going to Middle Earth. I believe that Gandalf is the stranger. We got to talk about Mithril. We have to talk about the Uruks and their attack on the Southlanders. We got to talk about how y'all allegedly believe that Halbrand is Sauron. And we got to talk about Adar and his backstory. So let's go back. Let's talk about all this Southland stuff first, man. So I was actually looking at Fellowship for my annotations in my big giant book, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that shape, that C shape, that is Mordor. But I was like, wait a minute, Rings of Power, that's Southlands. So that really got me bugging as to what the heck is actually about to go down in the show. Because if Southlands is Mordor, Halbrand is allegedly king of the Southlands, does that mean that he's a Nazgul? Does that mean that he is the Witch King? Or is he those ghost guys that Aragorn went and got from the cave? It's really a lot of questions as to what's going on. Let's talk about the attack that the Uruks did on the Southland in episode 6. I thought it was sick that, I wouldn't say it was sick. I thought it was a tactical move to use the ones that defected from the town against the town. Weaken the forces, expose their plan. War, man. So it's a war, shows you how sick people are. And Adar, hey man, like he said, we've been through too much. I don't care what it's going to take. We're going to achieve our goal. We need our home. And it ended, you know, episode 6 ended with the sword being activated to unlock Mount Doom, and it caused the cloud of ash to come and cover up the land. I think Numenor pulling up and joining the forces of men in Southland, I think that is important. You know what I'm saying? The mixing of the lineages and all of that. I feel like we're really going to get down to who's who and what's what very soon. You know what I'm saying? Who Halbrand actually is. Because y'all swear that he's Sauron on the internet. And while I wouldn't say that I'm not opposed to that, I just don't believe that that's who that is. Because if that is Sauron, and now that he's developing this relationship with Galadriel, and Galadriel knows that she wants to kill him, how is that going to work? Alright. You got Elrond and Durin and Gil-galad and Mithril. I think that one, Mithril being created from the lost Silmaril. Cool. I think that the elves needing it to survive is crucial. That's really going to be crucial. And Durin and King Durin, Prince Durin and King Durin, they're like, man, we got this thing. We know that they want it for whatever reason, but we can't let them get it. So I think Elrond choosing to side with Durin instead of Gil-galad is really going to be a pivotal moment for those two characters, because Gil-galad is like, bro, we're gonna die if we don't have Mithril, and if we don't have Mithril, and you're siding with them, it's your fault that we died. So it's kind of like a whoa, what are they gonna do? What's gonna happen? So I really hope that it works out for those guys. I think that Gandalf is the stranger. I believe that Gandalf is a stranger because of things that have already exist in the story, in the media, in the footage. There's a lot of things that Gandalf say. You can learn a lot about hobbits in a month and still surprise you, or they can still surprise you, or something like that he said to either Bilbo or Frodo. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of things that already exist that make me believe that Gandalf is the stranger. I hope that we find that out soon. I heard that there's only 2 episodes left, so I really hope that we can get something on that. that. Arondir, that boy raw. I've come to accept that the elves are just too raw as fighters, man. That boy was doing the parkour. His arrow pull is so crisp, it's ridiculous. So I really hope that he makes it through. I'm really rooting for bro. The sun, I think that the sun is attached to the hilt the same way that the ring works on its master in the other stories. I think that now that he has put it in him and it's taking his blood, he's connected to it. He wants that power. He wants to reunite with the Lord of the Rings. Also, too, in Rings of Power, man, we cannot forget that the sun gave Adar the hilt, bro. Like, the sun was like, man, Arondir, you finna let my mama die, bro. I cannot. I have to give this man this hilt. And I feel like that's important. Like, the Southlanders are just normal people. They don't know about war. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Especially a child. So, if children are going to continue to be in the play, i.e. children like Nori or whoever, who's to say that the fate might be in the wrong hands in this case? I feel like right now, because they're dealing with things that have been gone from the world for so long, following the facts, following the legend is the best thing for them to do. Something else to point out from episodes 5 and 6 of Rings of Power is the fact that the minister guy of Numenor, who is the cousin of the queen, doesn't really agree with Numenor going to Middle Earth. He is telling his son, I think, that, hey man, I don't really care about her agenda. I don't really care about Galadriel. I don't really care about none of that. I only care about Numenor returning to the glory that Numenor deserves. And if Halbrand is king and we take Halbrand and we lift him up, he's going to give us our praise, our due. So I want that for us because we deserve it. And it made me think about the intro to the Fellowship movie when Galadriel, ironically enough, was talking about the rings that Sauron gave to each of the free peoples of Middle-earth. And she said, and 9 for men who above all else crave power. So I wonder if that was not necessarily a shot or a jab, but kind of like a foreshadowing, if you understand the whole story in its totality, that, hey man, the men of Numenor or the men of Middle-earth, Southlands, wherever it be, they are easily corrupted. They easily want power. As soon as they see opportunity for power, they just want to take it. So I really feel like Rings of Power is about to heat up. I also saw today that they started filming season 2 already. They started filming season 2 already. So they're ready. They're ready. They're ready. Also, I guess we got to talk about Isildur. I'm not really a fan of bro. Not in no, like, the story is all his fault. Nah. But I'm not necessarily a fan of bruh just because I just feel like what his daddy's saying is right. Like, you're not necessarily standing for nothing. You're just going with the wind. And while going with the flow is cool, I feel like you should also have a plan. And I feel like bruh just doesn't really have a plan. He knows that he doesn't want to do what his daddy wants him to do or what Numenor wants him to do. But it's like, well, what do you want? You just want to go west, or you just want to do this, or you just want to do that. You just need to make up your mind. Make up your mind.